Trash is a heavy burden. Every year when I go to Mexico, I can't help but notice all the trash there is everywhere. This makes the city look filthy and depressed. It's so easy to just throw your trash on the street or throw a recyclable product into the trash so that we don't have to carry it or deal with it anymore. I guess once it's out of our hands, it's no longer our problem, right? Trash and all the problems that come with it are all of our concern. After all, trash takes up precious land we could be using to grow food, nice homes, recreational parks. But instead, we have miles and miles of trash. As the population gets larger and larger, we are depleting our resources and burying ourselves in mountains of trash. This is something we should all be concerned about. How will our future populations have a good life if we're all buried in mountains of trash, which could have been reusable resources or disposed of in an environmentally efficient manner that benefits everyone on the planet? Mexico City is big. With a sprawling metro population of around 20 million, it's one of the largest urban areas on the planet, and all of those people produce a lot of trash, about 12,000 tons of solid waste every day. As the population grows, so does the problem. Since 1985, Mexico City has been using the same dump for their trash, until December 2011, when the national government finally shut the dump with 76 million tons of waste. Since then, trash is being driven to nearby dumps, which takes hours of driving and time away from the daily local collection. This causes Mexico City to look like a massive dumpster, with trash bins overfilled and no collection in sight. The problem of trash is an escalation systems trap. The stock keeps growing more and more with more population and use of more and more resources. The only way to solve this systems trap is to negotiate a new system with balancing loops to control the escalation or growth of trash piles. Balancing loops would include recycling, education on proper disposal, and a culture mentality shift. The reinforcing loops would be more resource use and growth of population. As people die off, they will cease to contribute to the use of resources. What can be done about this issue? Educate, recycle programs, efficient waste disposal, and the most important is to work together because trash is everyone's problem. These would all be our leverage points or points of change. One of the most important leverage points would be to find ways to encourage people to participate in recycling efforts. Most Hispanics, even myself, are hard-headed and come from a culture that has taught us to only worry about ourselves. We have seen years and years of generations throwing their trash on the streets, out the window, or in over-flooded trash cans like the one in this picture. Why change now? Trash affects our social equity because since trash collection is considered a free service, there is no incentive to generate less waste. This needs to change because by reducing our waste, we can help out our economy by lowering our overall municipal solid waste management costs. This would allow communities to invest in things that really matter, like parks, recreational centers, and educational programs. By throwing away everything and not recycling, we are damaging our future and our environment. Massive trash collection takes away space, produces dangerous gases, and pollutes freshwater sources below the land where trash is collected. Mexico City emits 36 million tons of CO2 equivalents each year, while the methane produced by the dump could be harnessed to generate electricity and power public lighting. City officials say they are bringing the problem of Mexico City's trash under control, finding uses for much of the garbage before sending the remainder to the dump. The whole issue of the Bordo Poniente is a great opportunity that will allow us to change people's habits in managing garbage, Fernando Abotiz, the City Secretary of Works and Services, said recently. A few solutions I found would be to charge people for the amount of waste they produce, and create programs with incentives for people to recycle. Mexico City has a massive trash problem that is partially caused by citizens' resistance to recycle. To encourage them to do so, the city gives residents food vouchers in exchange for their recyclable waste. Not only do they get food, but they get vegetables. This makes them eat more vegetables to help counter the obesity issues in Mexico and efficiently promotes recycling. The first and most important step in solving this problem is to set up more trash cans around the city and efficiently unload them so that trash doesn't end up on the ground. Second, there should be recycle bins distributed with programs to teach people how to use them efficiently. By creating efficient recycling programs, Mexico City has been able to reduce the amount of trash from 12,000 tons daily to 4,000 tons daily. As we can all see, change is possible. We just need some good incentives and mentality shifts. Another important leverage point would be to get large corporations and businesses to take steps towards creating a mind shift. For-profit companies in Mexico are now including waste pickers in their supply chains. Plastic recycling can improve profits, create jobs, reduce poverty, and conserve resources. Further, due to scavengers' low income, they are unable to send their children to daycare centers, and many school-aged children start recovering recyclables in order to contribute to their family income. This can perpetuate their poverty and keep them as scavengers for the rest of their lives. Children working at the dumps suffer many more illnesses and injuries than in the general population. Particularly prevalent are gastrointestinal, respiratory, and skin diseases, lead poisoning, and cuts from needles and broken glass. Now with this program, in which scavengers are hired by companies, they are able to afford a more decent wage, which leads to them once again being able to send their kids to school. This will allow the culture to grow socially and educate their future generations. As a final note, I would like to talk about a story of a few kids from poor neighborhoods in Mexico who came together and made a music band with instruments made from trash or recycled products. This band plays at local parks and collects much needed money to support their families.
From the rest, we found the pots in the trash. The 4 band members, who are all music students, make the wind, strings instrument, and percussions with PVC tubes and pans. Their self-made instruments can play any genre of music, from rock to traditional Mexican music. The trash orchestra is going on tour around the country, offering performances to raise awareness and the importance of environmental resources protection. With this creative musical approach, they are welcomed by thousands of musical fans around the country.
I guess every story has to have a happy ending.